Speaking of manager sackings. Should we get onto it, Ad?
Yeah, we are ranking the top 5 Erik ten Hag replacements. Now, as it stands, and as we speak, I've just seen an image of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and one of the Glazer stooges turning up at Old Trafford. Now, I don't know whether that's to discuss the stadium or whatnot, but there's a meeting planned for Tuesday of this week or yesterday as you listen to this podcast. So who knows what's going down with Erik ten Hag. But we're going to rank the top 5 bookmakers' favourites for the Manchester United job based on how successful we think they'd be in the role. So it is the top 5 favourites based on the bookmakers. So we're not including the likes of Thomas Frank, who's been linked, Amarim, who's been linked, Sebastian Holness, who's an outside shout as well. I seen Tom Cleverley was like 50-1 today. I thought, yo, I forgot he was a manager.
That's crazy.
So we're going to rank Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's the favourite. Gareth Southgate's second favourite, although David Ornstein has kind of...
You're latching onto that.
Thomas Tuchel's the third favourite, Kieran McKenna, and then Graham Potter. And we're going to go from 5 to 1.
There's definitely a right and a wrong list here. I feel like we should all be pretty aligned. We all watch a lot of football. Like, for me, if we're starting at number 5, it has to be Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
I agree with
I agree.
Are we all in agreement? Miles is still.
Bro, I can't believe he's 3-1.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
I do think it's based off money going in, though. That's how the bookmakers work. When you look at reliable reports, they all say the rumours come because he had a previous relationship with Ashworth, but there's nothing there. And I touch wood. Pray to God.
He's using everything in the book.
He's using everything in the book.
I ain't going to another game.
He's trying his best.
Yeah, you can't.
He's Ornstein, Ashworth.
No, in 1 month, I'll be thinking Gareth Southgate's Red and White Army. It's crazy, bro. But
Hey, Adam, if you get Gareth Southgate, I'm telling you.
I'm finished.
Bro.
But
Manchester United.
But what if he's good?
Gareth Southgate's like his biggest strength is getting the team bonded, right? That's what we've seen with England and like team spirit. But like Manchester United under Ten Hag are tactically inept. That's the problem. Like we're looking at them and we're thinking, what's the style of play? We kind of had the same questions with England.
I think that is the style of play.
Yeah.
I think that is everyone goes, what's the style of play? That's the style of play.
Yeah.
Tactically inept. This guy had like the best, one of the best generational teams of England of all time, and he still couldn't figure it out.
But I'm not going to slag off. Like, I think he did all right with the England team. Like getting to finals, losing them. It's that he's ultimately come up short, which is why I don't think he's right for Manchester United because tactically that's where he lost it. But it's not like Gareth Southgate did a terrible job for me with England. But just when you look at Manchester United and what they need a manager who can outsmart the other managers in this league. And Gareth Southgate has a proven record in the biggest games of football of not doing that. There's nothing for me to go up there of like he's gonna go up against Pep and I mean I can't even finish the sentence.
He couldn't even go up against all due respect was it Mancini.
Yeah.
Talking about City ex-City man. Couldn't even go up against Mancini.
Yeah.
I'm playing devil's advocate because I want Gareth Southgate nowhere near Manchester United. But does he have anything about him that, you know, at England, he kind of settled everything down. He was statesman-like. He kind of controlled everything like a... Could that be beneficial to Man United? And again, I don't want him anywhere near the club. I'm just
They liked him, but I think you could use the same argument for Ole. So if that's going to be the argument, you might as well bring Ole back because I think he's got more credentials about him.
Ole was good, man.
Yeah, I mean, the trajectory in the first couple of years with United, it looked like it was good. It's just that he didn't get over the line with the trophy. So I think Southgate's liked. He gives young players a chance and he'll let them, thrive in that sense. But the reality is, in this modern day game, with the systems you're coming up against and the quality managers, you need a tactically,
Maguire will be captain if he comes. He'll be captain again.
But
mad.
Yeah, there's not just Gareth Southgate. Yeah,
let's move on.
Not be anywhere near it.
Let's move on.
Where's Middlesbrough? He should be going there and trying to bring them back up.
They don't want him. That's the thing. Like they got Michael Carrick. They don't
Carrick's
want him.
there. He had them balling as well.
Yeah.
They're doing well as well.
Yeah, he's probably fucking 20-1 as well. That's how bad this list is getting.
So we all have him 5th.
Yeah, we all have him 5th.
100%. Man.
Who have you got 4th, John?
Potter for me. Just based off, I think Graham Potter's done fantastically well with Brighton, and then obviously it didn't work out at Chelsea. But ultimately, like if the Chelsea job's too big for you, the Manchester United job is far too big for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd leave it with Potter, really.
I've got Potter 4th as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably second best coach on this list.
Yeah, like I think he's a better
Like,
coach.
you take everything into consideration.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think also being at the right club and all those kind of things matter. And I think there's a few other names on this list where I think they'd probably suit the United job more. Although if it was a random job, like Graham Potter would probably be the guy.
I put McKenna 4th.
Did you?
I would. Yeah, I would. It's tight, But just because of what you said, Potter's actually got something about him, whereas McKenna's probably in the early stages of where Potter was at in his first 6 to 12 months at Brighton. We don't know for sure if McKenna's anywhere close to being a good coach, whereas we know Potter is a good coach, just at the step up. And I think Chelsea, yes, big club, yes, money spent, but I don't think it's the ideal place to judge anyone over the last 2 years. So I think Potter just above McKenna for me.
Graham Potter should go nowhere near that Manchester United job. Nowhere
Are
near.
you mad, bro?
But I've been telling you this for
the Man
weeks.
United job. He needs to get on his knees now and
Where's my
crawl to
camera?
Old
Graham
Trafford.
Potter, leave. Don't go nowhere near them. Go back to the Championship and rebuild and come back up even. Like I wouldn't go nowhere near Manchester United right now.
Are you mad? Bro. If you get offered the Man United job, no matter who you are, obviously unless you're Pep and you're at City, but no matter who you are, you think I could be the guy to bring that team back. No. You have to take it just for that carrot.
Yeah, but you have to. Yeah, obviously he's gonna have that self-belief because he's gonna believe in himself. Yeah, but like I said, a manager like him, he came from step one football, wherever he came from, university football. He's gone to Brighton. We all know the philosophy and the style of play he brought to Brighton, which was lovely. Then obviously he got that job at Chelsea. It didn't work out. He got killed for that. Now he's out of a job, so he's chilling. You want him to go back into that same environment, which is worse than Chelsea, Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and try drag you lot out of the mud, and he doesn't get that done. Now, his trajectory later on in his career is probably thinking, one day I want to manage England. If he does this for Manchester United and doesn't...
United job's bigger.
No, but like I said, he's an Englishman. So for him, it might be bigger to just to manage my nation. That could be for him. That could be his personal
Yeah, but you
achievement.
don't use Manchester United as a stepping stone to get to the England job.
No,
I don't think.
I'm thinking if he does bad in this Manchester United job and it doesn't pull it out.
I'm sorry, if he does bad at Man United,
I don't think
Palace still take him. Someone still take him.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll
Everton
ever get
still
that
take
England job.
Look at
then.
David
I don't
Moyes.
think he'll ever get that England job. I think it would put another stain on his career and they might not even look at him now.
England job's weird though, man, because sometimes you think someone's going to get it and they go left. Like, look, Harry Redknapp was going to get it.
He should have been England manager.
But Graham Potter was he
hard
good
to
though?
predict.
He'd be good for England, Graham Potter. He's good with working days.
Another thing that works against Potter for me is, and this is where it makes it tight, because forget what happened to Potter at Chelsea. Look at Brighton since Potter's gone. Other managers have come in. The philosophies, you could argue it's got better. You could argue it's similar level. It's very easy on the eye. They're still bringing in quality players. So the job at Brighton was bigger than just Potter and the managers that have been in place. It's the people behind the scenes that probably get more of the credit. Because since he's gone, they're still doing what Brighton were doing underneath, him, just in a different way.
I just think it's too big of a job for him, man. I don't think he should touch that job right now, especially where Man United is right now.
Yeah, but if the phone rings, he has to take it.
Yeah.
He has to take it.
Not necessarily.
But I agree with you that it wouldn't work,
His
but he has to take
reputation's
it.
It's like
already,
if you play football for Brighton.
But they're talking
Man
about
United
England.
want to sign you, you go there.
Even if Brighton finish
just
above
go.
Man United
You
for
just
the
go.
next
You
5
have to
years,
go.
you
We're
go there, don't
talking about the stature of the club. Yes, you go.
But what you're saying then is, if he's got 2 offers on the table, 2 emails, one from the England job, one from the United job,
He goes to England, 100%.
would you two agree with that?
He goes to England. He's an Englishman. He's come
I
from-
think he will
has
because
got
he's
the ball.
probably
He's
not.
come from
If he was
university
United's
football
first
to
choice,
England.
and United made it clear as his first choice, I promise you he goes to United.
He'll go to England.
I promise
think
you
he'll
he goes to
England.
United.
It's more less stress. I think it's less stress than Manchester United going to England.
And it's
right
good
now.
money, England as well.
Yeah,
Also, United.
and he's working with great players.
The media is like,
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate benefited from the media being on his side for a long time. Once you're Man United manager, so they're not going to be your friends no more. Bro.
It's not even the media, it's you guys.
No, but they're not going to be your friends anymore. You're going to be getting asked questions which are like cutting you now. You're not going to ask these fluffy questions and playing darts with all these journalists and, like they do for England.
So
who you got third?
I had McKenna, but I agree with you, Turkish. It's like you could swap
Tight,
either
yeah.
one. But McKenna for me is like, no disrespect to Ipswich, you just don't go from Ipswich to the Man United job. So that's why I can't see it. But I mean, he has arguably done one of the most incredible achievements in football, taking Ipswich up both leagues into the Prem. It's just too big of a job, too big of a leap. Like he needs that next step club. He needs like that West Ham level club, prove he can do it at that level and then move up. If I was him, but again,
Everton would be a good
yeah,
place.
Everton, a club with a little bit more money,
Yeah.
more stable in the
Good
Prem
shout,
that he can
actually, yeah.
prove himself at for a few years before getting a team like Manchester United, who obviously are nowhere near it right now, but should be competing for all the big trophies.
I've got McKenna third as well.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to see him there, though, Adam. Really.
No, I think he's got great potential, and I think that when he was at Manchester United as well, although it's being a manager, being a coach are two very different things.
Yeah.
He was quite well thought of as a coach. Like the players all enjoyed his sessions, and he was tactically they enjoyed what he did as well. And there was a kind of a rumor that Ollie would kind of defer to Phelan and then Phelan would kind of overlook everything that they had done on the training, which was mental. Because when Carrick and McKenna kind of took over, it looked okay. But I mean, I do think he has potential to be something. But again, it's probably too early. Probably too early for him.
You'd have to wait another 3-4 years if you bring him in, and I don't think the patience is there for me. And rightly so. It's one of the biggest in the world.
Did you have Potter third?
Yeah, but it's tight. I mean, McKenna, Potter, third, fourth.
Yeah, I'd say Potter's a better manager than McKenna.
Ruud van Nistelrooy is second for me. And the reason he's ahead of Kieran McKenna isn't because I think he's a better coach. Because I actually think Kieran McKenna is probably a better coach for what he's done. But I think he'd be able to handle the size of the job a bit better.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
A bit more understanding. Obviously, he's a club legend. So I think, like you said, the media will give him that grace period. Probably. Even the fans, you'd probably give him that grace period.
We'll be singing Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Because he's rude. So, yeah.
Yeah, he walks in and he gets the respect without saying a word. That's one thing Ruud gets above all others on this list. Everyone else. I mean, it's for me, I don't know, you could speak on this more. For me, it's slightly different to Ole. I think Ruud's got much more respect for his time at United than Ole did, because Ole was more of a 12th man super sub type, which he won major runners, but Ruud was, you're starting.
I think it's hard because when you scored that goal.
Of course, yeah.
When you scored that goal, I think and I say only, but Ruud won the league and an FA Cup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, while it was amazing in his period at United, he didn't win as many trophies.
So would you put Ole higher in the list if you
respect-wise? I think so, yeah. But Ruud van Nistelrooy is the best finisher we've ever had, and Ole's probably just second behind him.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I kind of agree. And plus, what he did at PSV is not to be frowned upon. It was decent in his one season.
I don't know whether it comes to character then, because there's something with
it just
Ole.
Looks like it, innit?
Maybe the baby face thing works with Ole now, because it just felt like it turned to not bullying, but it was easy to get at him. He's not serious. Look at him smiling.
Too much of a nice guy.
Whereas Ruud kind of has that character where but he's angry.
That can go too far, because he fell out with the dressing room, didn't he? Didn't he just walk out of the PSV job? He just
he fell out with the board, not the dressing room.
Okay,
he was great for the dressing room. The likes of Bramthwaite and that developed under him.
Yeah.
And he used him really well. Like there's what's them things called? Masterclasses or something.
Yeah.
Where the coaches kind of talk through their tactics. And he talks about Bramthwaite quite a lot, and it's really interesting.
But that Ruud for me was second on my list, but more based on sitting on the 6 month interim or something, fine until someone else is free.
Can I ask Adam something? If Ruud wasn't your assistant manager now, and
he wouldn't be in this list.
He wouldn't be. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
No, I don't think so. Maybe he'd be 5th, 6th choice, but yeah, he might not even be in the list.
Okay.
I think
it is because he's just there.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I think it's the most logical manager to go with if you can't get, obviously, who we know who's number one. I think it'd be the most logical thing for Man United to do. Like I said, interim manager.
How do you feel about? How do you feel about another legend coming? Because I remember when Wenger was going, people were coming on Vieira. I said no Arsenal legends, because the where we're at now, it would damage their legacy. Now, Ole's come in and gone out now. Do you feel a way of it being another?
I don't think it damages their legacy, but because maybe because I lived through it, because I'll always remember those good, I'll never forget what they did as players. So it wouldn't damage their legacy, but it is a little bit of you don't want to turn on you guys. You don't want to be in a position where you're going, Ruud van Nistelrooy's got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
You really don't want to be in that. And that's how we were with Ole at the end. And it becomes one of them things where it's just, you just feel sorry for someone, man.
That's too much, Turkish, that's too much of a fairy tale, John. You know what I'm saying? Henry comes back and wins the league. Van Nistelrooy wins the league. Yeah. It's too much of a fairy tale. It's like it's too perfect. And you, like you said, you don't want to turn in your legends. When Henry,
but he's not. It's not like he'd just be given the job. It's not like giving Rio the job. He has got some form of coaching ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if he got it permanently, which is what these odds are based on, I think it'd come after 6 months of being interim.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd go, you're permanent manager now. I don't think that would ever happen. Does that mean we've all got Tommy Tuchel's number one?
Tommy Tuchel.
Has to be, right? European Cup, the best coach on this list for me. So, and he's available, and I think he'd take it.
I spoke about him in my video yesterday, and someone commented, Thomas Tuchel's failed everywhere he went. And I thought,
no, he hasn't.
Did I imagine him winning the Champions League? Did I imagine him doing that?
He was brilliant at Dortmund, yeah.
He's a coach that Manchester United need right now. Somebody who's going to come in, he's got his credentials, he's won the Champions League, he's going to steady the ship, and he's going to get the respect from the players. He's a well-known coach. He's got his own philosophies. It might not be the playing style that Manchester United fans want, but it's something right now that's going to steady the ship.
He's the only coach on this list as well that Pep not Klopp, but all the big managers go,
Yeah, oh yeah.
we better take him
Yeah,
seriously
definitely.
because tactically he can get one over on us. So, like, I think all the other managers in there, they probably just go, we'll
Give him 2 transfer windows and he could turn that
He
around.
has got a lot to prove, though, Tuchel. I think I agree with everything so far. He's the best manager on that list, but he's also 1 second away from being a forgotten man.
You're right.
Everything we've just said about Tuchel now, we could have said the same 12 months ago and probably 24 months before that. But in the last 12, 24 months, he's done very little. So we're going back a bit to offer the praise and put him the highest on this list. Man United job massive. He is a manager that's managed massive clubs. It seems like the right fit, but there's also a doubt in my head about Tuchel. Is he the guy? I mean, look how poor he was at Bayern in a league that's a given, let alone come in here to compete at Man United with Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool and so on. By far the best manager on this list, but also, in my opinion, probably the biggest fool if he was to come in as manager on this list as well.
Yeah, but it's just but what's out there right now, the availability when it comes to stature and names and someone who's gonna, like I said, who's gonna steady this ship for Manchester United. I think he's the
market's
the one.
dead. The market's dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
So Adam, if Tuchel's the guy for you, I mean, would you want him for like 5-year period? Would you want him for the?
He's never been at a club for 5 years,
No.
has he? So it's hard to expect that when history suggests he's probably going to be there for 2 or 3 years.
What about?
There's not one manager that I go get him.
German manager,
Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann. Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's it. That's
is he available? It's like Poch is the USA manager now. Like, he's not available anymore. It's like there's not one manager that screams out to me, "Come and get me." But Thomas Tuchel's probably the one at the top of my list, just because.
Would Ancelotti change your mind? Obviously, end of the
Oh,
season.
mate, the fact he's not already been Man United manager is baffling to me.
'Cause I think-
In this era of chopping and he went to Everton.
Yeah.
He didn't come to Man United. It's mental. Like, Ancelotti is probably the most archetypal Man United manager. He should have been the manager at some point. Like, even the style of play, everything.
He'll
It's
be
Manchester
free at the end
United.
of the season, I think, if the rumours are to be believed. Of Real, he should be free man at the end in the summer.
So then, do you get Ruud in? Would you?
We wouldn't wait for
would
Carlo.
you-
I don't think Carlo Ancelotti gets waited for like that.
But I think Ruud learns a lot of Carlo if he was.
Yeah.
If Ruud was to wait it out and then be assistant to Carlo for 2 years or something,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a natural progression.
Ruud
I
to
think.
Carlo or Thomas Tuchel now?
Tommy Tickles.